Hello once again, Internet, every people, and welcome to another episode of Polly's Peep Show. Today we're going to be looking at Joy Masher's hot new release, Blazing Chrome. If you aren't familiar with Joy Masher, then maybe you should do yourself a favor and get yourself familiar with them, because they've released the slick ninja action platformer Oniken, which owes a lot to Ninja Gaiden, as well as Odalis the Dark Call, which pulls some inspiration from games like Castlevania and Demon's Crest. So it kind of always feels weird directly comparing games to one another, like, oh, well, this is basically just X, but I feel that with Joy Masher, they're the kind of developer that wear their inspirations on their sleeve. So I kind of feel like they add enough unique flavor to the mix that their retro-styled throwbacks end up being pretty good. All truth be told, I've liked every single one of their games so far. Is Blazing Chrome going to continue that tradition? So this game is, of course, another retro throwback, and it finds itself tackling what I feel would be fair to call my favorite subgenre of platformer. Let's see if you can guess what that might be. So, starting things off here, we've got a few things here that are already unlocked, such as boss ranking and achievement, or boss rush and achievements. Those are things that open once you complete the game once, so I don't even have to worry about that right now. We're going to just jump right into arcade mode. You got two standard difficulties here. Hardcore opens once you've completed the game once, but as you can see, it changes your lives and deals with support capsules, which we'll be talking about in a moment, as well as the save system. And on easy, you don't get access to the leaderboard. Once you unlock hardcore, obviously this is much more of an old school throwback game when you start playing it on that, and it is much more difficult under that mode as well. We will not worry about game mode because that is, again, something else you will unlock. This game has a shit ton of unlocks, by the way. Really cool. We're going to play as Mavra. You can also play as Doyle starting out. He is a robot. He is a toaster that has been converted into a battle robot with a mohawk. That is the story, and the dev is sticking to it. There are two other unlockable characters we will take a look at closer to the end of the video, but I kind of want to just give you an idea of what we're doing so far with this game. Starting out of the box, just when you open this bitch up for the first time. So we're going to go with a blue Mavra, because I like the color blue. And we get a little Neo Geo-esque how to play here. You press left and right to move your character. That's pretty standard. You go prone by pressing down, which isn't immediate. There are frames in between you and pressing down. That's something you probably want to remember. Going prone, gonna take you a couple frames. So we got shooting. Looking a little familiar. Is this ticking any boxes at all for what kind of subgenre of platformer this game might be? And why I may have been interested in it to the degree that I was leading up to the game's release. Entering a vehicle. Now, that's interesting. It's a very cool element of gameplay as well. There's some real bastard achievements associated with robots that I'm never gonna see, because those are impossible. But now we know how to play the game, and when we start out, we get our choice of any one of 4 starting areas. We'll take a look at a little bit of all of them, just to kind of get a nice taste for things here. So, obviously, you want to start out stage 1, get yourself going, and almost immediately this game kind of gets comparisons drawn to Contra Hardcore, just because, I mean, both games kind of start in a city that's kind of looking ravaged and destroyed like this. And yeah, like it makes sense why those comparisons would be drawn. We got some weapons here. We've got a pulse laser. We picked up a shield. We're meleeing enemies by just tapping the button when we get close to them. Feels good, all in all. One thing this game does not have that hardcore does is an invincibility slide. You get a roll maneuver that is not invincible, and you'll probably learn that the hard way if you're coming from hardcore directly into this game and having not seen this video yet. So here's a weapon I like to call the Licky Laser, because it's just like a little tongue, licks around the enemies. Something that Licky Laser can do as well as lick is it can also pick up items for you. I just lost the Pulse Laser. It's not a good weapon. It's good mostly only for bosses, and that's kind of about it. But the Licky Laser is pretty good all around in general for, you know, normal shit, I guess. But I find that most of the time I spend most of my time on the normal machine gun because it's its rate of fire and its range make it superior in a lot of situations that other weaponry can't do. So here's another support bot. So you see the little robot that I got with me. This is the second one that we've seen so far. The first one was the shield that I lost. But this is just a little attack buddy that comes along with me. You can see he's putting out shots. You can only have one of these little attack buddies at once. So when you get one, when you have one already and you pick another up, you'll poop the other one out. Like so. So now we're going to use the speed booster, which also grants us a double jump, which isn't documented anywhere, I don't believe. And that's going to let us do cool stuff like get up here and grab this extra life. Like, boom. Just like that. So this is the grenade launcher. This is what I call the boss weapon, essentially. If you're not using the laser, you're probably using this. So yeah, this is pretty standard fare, what you'd expect from this kind of game, I think. And you got a nice little scripted sequence here with, hey bro! He's very excited, as you can tell. We'll go ahead and go a little further into the stage for this next screen. We'll pick up our little attack buddy, and here we go. Here's our equivalent of a metal slug. You could just drive this guy forward. It's nice and slow. It's chunky in all the ways you want it to be. See, he's got a little life bar there. Like I said, there are achievements with like keeping these things till the end of a level. They're very difficult. I've only managed to perform the one on the first stage. The other ones are just like, oh, fuck you. That's literally impossible. No human is ever going to do that. And if the achievements ever say that they did, the achievements are a liar. So we'll continue on just a little further here. And down goes our bro! No! Also, the tunes in this game are amazing. But yeah, you can hear those. They are amazing. There's a G, P, and then we got nothing. And in comes a boss. Who just instantly wrecks my mech because I didn't move out of the way fast enough. But that's all we're going to show at that stage. We're going to abort the mission. We're going to go back. We're going to check out another stage here. Kind of give you a little more, another little taste of what's going on. And obviously, hey, if you're gonna have a game like this, you're gonna have a stage like this. Ever since Contra 3, it's kind of been the norm, right? And since this game's taking obvious inspirations from games of the past, this is obviously one that we're gonna see. So this game's got a few of these stages. All in all, they're pretty alright. Oh, I'm a big moron. Use my licky gun here. and die very quickly. Like I said, I think that most of the weapons are honestly just kind of bad for the stages. They don't really feel very good. Trying to clear out the dangers that are packed in these stages, especially when you go to like the higher difficulties. I feel that normal weaponry, like your weaponry other than your machine gun, really struggles to keep up with things, and it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of like if there is a complaint that I would lodge continuously against this game, it's that I think the weapons are just kind of not very good. Oh, there we go. No shortage of death, but that's fine. We are not experts at this video game just yet. You can also bounce on the enemies' heads, which is a really fun thing to do on the bike. Contra don't let you do that. Also, yeah, the sprite work and the background work is absolutely phenomenal in this game. Most of this was most of the artwork, I believe, was done by one guy, Danilo Diaz. I've actually interviewed Joy Masher for the podcast before, which is why some of you may actually kind of be familiar with the name. So we'll go ahead and abort that mission as well. Hop over to the next area here. Just kind of get another a little idea of where we're at. Sort of like a hardcore Uprising stage 1 vibe here. And also, I think that this little guy in the sand here, I think that guy might actually be a reference to Mortal Kombat, or to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Cyrax gets lost in the desert and is in the desert background in that game, and that's pretty cool. So I think that might actually be a very intentional reference, which I could probably just ask since I'm in their Discord, but yeah, no. Isn't that like what gamers do? We just baselessly assume things. This game is another one of those indie games that has all the art. It's kind of like your Shovel Knight level of art design. It's just like, yo, man, these games just have all the art these days. There's so much stuff in. When you think about all of or most of the assets being done by one dude, that's kind of nuts. But hey, that's the passion of games, man. Gonna make my dream video game. Things are appropriately heating up, difficulty-wise, as you can see. So I think it's almost always advisable to just do all of the stages in order, because there's no scaling or anything of the sort. What am I doing? What am I doing? Literally, what am I doing? The physical attack is real good. Yeah, but yeah, like there's no scaling or anything, so if you like do this stage first, it won't be easier. In fact, it's probably advisable just to build up lives. Especially if you're going to be doing hardcore. It's advisable to just build up lives and credits and stuff by progressing through the game at a normal clip. So we'll go ahead and have a look at the last selectable mission from the get-go, which is a pain in the ass. Oh man, this is when the game has literally stopped playing around and it's going to eat you for dinner. So you just want to book it as much as you can here, and yeah. That's just kind of a whatever. Like, not even pretending I am good at this point. This game has literally been out about 24 hours, so not even gonna try and pretend that I am in any way competent at it, beyond being able to complete it on normal with like 2 credits. No, I 1cc'd this actually on normal last night. It was real fucking late though. That was a great jump. Yeah, fuck it. So that's that. That's that stage. One last thing I'm going to show you before we check on out of here. We're going to go back to the main menu. We're going to play this on default once more. We're going to check out one of the unlockable characters. These characters play a bit differently, and this isn't really a spoiler because they put out a trailer for these characters prior to the game releasing, so these characters play a bit differently, and they're very cool. And they've very much changed how you play the game. We won't sit through the how to play again. We will just do another quick run through of the first part of the first stage here. So these characters don't pick up anything but helper bots. They're a lot like Sayuri from Hardcore Uprising, where their main deal is they are physical attackers, and they're very strong, they're very fast, they jump higher, they move faster, they don't give no fucks about anything, and they basically just change the way you have to approach the game. And normally when you have characters like this, it can really mess things up in terms of, oh, well, they didn't design the levels around them properly, or it just doesn't feel good. That's not the case for this game. The level design, the level enemy designs, and everything that go around it already feel pretty well tuned for the melee characters as well. So it's nothing that needed to be drastically changed to make this work, and it's not so drastic of a change that it feels foreign, but it's different enough to feel very cool. But like I said, these guys can only pick up attack bot buddies, so, and they can of course charge their melee attack, and I'll die trying to demonstrate that. He charges attack and he yells ninja. Don't anybody tell me different. That's what it sounds like to me. That is what it will always be to me. See? I swear to God, he's saying ninja there. So we'll go ahead and fight this boss with our ninja. Like I said, very powerful. Roll right into the bullets, because I'm very good at playing video games. And there you go. So that is going to do it. That is Blazing Chrome. You can grab that on Steam, Good Old Games, Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. This game is everywhere right now. And there's a lot of content. And my playing may have made it look a little shittier than it normally would, because I usually try to polish these things up a bit more. But I figure, like, this game just came out a little while ago. Not even, it's only been about a full day now, and I kind of wanted to just get the word out. It's like, hey, this is a really cool thing that you might enjoy if you like these kind of games the same way I do. So there you have it. Go get yourself some Blazing Chrome.